Hello everyone. Welcome to Sri Jayendra Rank Zone classes. I'm your mentor and your friend for the subject biology. I will be taking the animal science, that is zoology section. So friends, we were on the previous videos discussing regarding the kingdom Animalia. We have covered the basis of classification, phylum Porifera, and now it's turn for phylum Coelenterata. So phylum Coelenterata, it basically known as phylum Cnidaria. Cnidaria. Just a minute, okay? Yeah. Phylum Cnidaria. Right? So Coelentratans, they are also known as Cnidarians, right? Why they are known as Cnidarians? The reason is behind. And the reason is what? They have cnidoblast or cnidocytes, also known as stinging cells, right? They are known as Cnidarians. Why? Because they are having a specialized kind of cells which are known as what? Stinging cells. And stinging cells, they are known as what? Cnidoblast or cnidocytes. Okay. Mostly they are marine, mean they live in salty water. Some of them are fresh water living like hydra. They are free swimming. They are carnivores and they are radially symmetrical. Okay. Phylum Coelentrates, it depends. They can be free swimming, they are carnivores, they are radially symmetrical. Most of them, almost all of them, they live in just salty water, marine water, and only one that is hydra, it lives in fresh water. Then Obelia. Obelia is a colonial cnidarian. Colonial means they live in colonies, okay, and it's trimorphic. So almost all the cnidarians which actually they live in a colony, so they show polymorphism. Polymorphism means they actually exist in different individualistic forms, different morphological forms. Like for example, zooids, polyps, blastostyles and medusae. So Obelia is a colonial cnidarian, a coelenterate. It is trimorphic, means it exists in 3 different forms for its all of the lifespan, and that is polyp, then second is blastostyle, and the third is medusae. Okay, the difference between polyp, blastostyle and medusae is what? Polyp, it is a asexual form. The body is attached to a substratum, means it is not free living. It can perform somersaulting in case of hydra. Blastostyle, it basically forms reproductive cells, reproductive organs, okay, or tissues like medusae. So blastostyle, it is forming reproductive forms like medusae. Then coming to polymorphism, more than one type of individuals performing different functions. So what is polymorphism? Is it clear to everyone? Yeah, it is clear to everyone. Then what is polymorphism? When an individual exists in more than 2 forms, more than one form, and that form is actually associated with a particular function, that is polymorphism. They are diploblastic, means they are basically derived from 2 germ layers. There is no mesoderm. There is no mesoderm. Okay. They have tissue level of organization, means they are more evolved than protistans. Body consists of 2 layers, the outer epidermis and inner gastrodermis. When we cut a longitudinal section of a hydra or any of the cnidarian, it actually comes up with that they are having outer epidermis and inner gastrodermis. Gastrodermis means a kind of alimentary canal. or gut. Mesoglia, they don't have mesoderm. Mesoglia is a non-cellular gelatinous layer which is present in between ectoderm and endoderm. So they are diploblastic, as they don't have any mesoderm in between ectoderm and endoderm. They have a non-cellular jelly-like layer which is known as what? Mesoglia, which is acting as a cementing material for both ectoderm and endoderm. The digestive tract is incomplete. It is incomplete, means they have only one opening, and that opening itself acts as both mouth and anus. Okay. Cnidarians, they have central gastrovascular cavity. Cnidarians, they have a gut cavity where all the food comes and gets stored and then gets digested. They show both intracellular and extracellular digestion. Okay, like food is actually gathering or collected in a pouch, and that pouch is basically secreting enzymes. Some of the food is digested there, and some of the food get digested when that undigested food goes to cell, right? Respiration is through general body surface, means diffusion, and the excretory organ is ammonia. Excretory organ is ammonia. They are ammonotelic. They are water driven, na? That's why ammonia is water soluble. Why to give pain? Water soluble ammonia. Then statocyst, for the very first time in coelentrates. For the very first time. Nerves or nerve plexus. Nerve rings or junctions, they appear. When they are the first evolved organism to have sensation. Okay, because they are having statocyst, for the first time developed in cnidarians, sense organ for balance. Stato means balance, cyst means, cyst is basically means a cavity which is actually having either air pressure, balancing air pressure, or fluid pressure to maintain the balance of the body, right? Reproduction is both asexual and sexual. It is easily understood. Reproduction is both asexual and sexual, right? Is it understood? What are statocysts? To balance the body, to maintain the balance of the body. Okay, they are sensory organs to maintain the balance of the body. Reproduction is both asexual and sexual. Okay. Coming to the next slide, there are some important terms which we actually have noticed in this slide, like trimorphic, polymorphism, polyp, blastostyle, medusa. Okay, diploblastic. Coming to next, this is the longitudinal section of a body wall of cnidoblast. Means we have actually shown Hydra, right? So the development is, cleavage is holoblastic. It is involving whole of the embryo. Indirect or direct development, both are present. In Obelia, it is having planula larva, and in Aurelia, it is having parenchyma or planula, scyphostoma, and ephyra larva. Development is direct as well as indirect. In Obelia, planula larva is there, and in Aurelia, they have scyphostoma or planula or ephyra larva may be found. Metagenesis is somewhat different from alternation of generation. In case we have studied about bryophytes, pteridophytes, alternation of generation, right? Metagenesis is just they are converting their forms in a same generation. In a same generation, there is no change in the diploid or the number of chromosomes. Okay, so polyp is converted into medusa, and medusa is converted into polyp. Polyp is converted into medusa asexually, and medusa is converted into polyp sexually. So there is no alternate generation, though there is no alternation of generation found here, because there is no change in number of gametes, there is no change in number of chromosomes, right? Now when we talk about the histology of body wall of Hydra, then there are some important points which actually have to be noticed. That is, the outermost layer is epitheliomuscular cells. These epitheliomuscular cells actually helps the hydra to perform the functions related to muscles like contraction, relaxation. Okay, is it understood? Epitheliomuscular cells, it is at the outermost part. Now nidoblast or stinging cells, then we have nidoblast and stinging cells. Okay, so the nidoblast and the stinging cells, it is actually mentioned here in a form of nematocyte. This is a sting, that was a sting actually. Yeah, this is nematocyte or nidoblast or stinging cells or stinging cells, right? Now the nematoblast, also known as nidoblast, they have nematocyst. Nematocyst, it is stinging organ. You have to just remember the difference between what is the difference between nidoblast and nidocyte? See, nidoblast means undifferentiated, not matured, and nidoblast means matured. Nidocytes means matured. So basically in this category we will put those cells which were previously, they are not mature, they are under the process of differentiation, they will get mature after some time, right? So epitheliomuscular cells, then we have nidoblast which will be converted into nidocytes according to the requirement. Okay, nidoblast and the nematocyst. So the nematocyst, also known as stinging organ, it is having capsule, shaft and thread tube. They have capsule, shaft and thread tube. The nematocysts are used for defense and offense. Nematocysts का use कहाँ पे होता है? Defense and offense के लिए. Interstitial cells, they are reserve cells and are called totipotent cells, which can be converted into any type of cells. Interstitial cells होती हैं जो बेसिकली किसी भी तरह की सेल में चेंज हो सकती है. The nerve cells, sensory cells. नर्व सेल्स वो सेल्स होती है जो सेंसेशन का काम करती है. सेंसरी सेल्स वो सेल्स होती है जो एक्चुअल में सेंसरी इन फंक्शन होती है, राइट? इज इट अंडरस्टूड? वी हैव एक्टोडर्म, sorry, then we have endoderm, and in between we have a cementing material layer that is known as mesoglia. It is not mesoderm, it is not a true layer. Okay, mesoglia. Okay, so the development is holoblastic and indirect. Okay, obelia, it is having planular larva, and aurelia, it is having scyphistoma and ephyra larva. Okay, along with planula. Okay, is it understood, everyone? Then most importantly we are having, you can see, muscular ring and a longitudinal muscles. These muscles actually help to contract and relax the whole body. Okay, is it understood? Contract and relax the whole body. Okay, now coming to next, when we talk about nerve cells done, sensory cells done, when we talk about gastrodermis, okay, gastrodermis means inner side layer. Ectodermis we have completed, nidoblast, everything which I have written, you just write it down. Okay, different forms of nidoblast. Is it understood? Yeah, you are getting me? Okay, is it done? The difference between nidoplast and nidocells, right? Now we will talk about the next slide, that is the discharge of nidoblast. So what is discharging, undischarging of nidoblast? You know, nidoblast, they have stinging cells. These stinging cells, they are of different types. Okay, I will discuss the types at the end of this lecture. So when we talk about the nidoblast, this diagram, this one second, this one first, this diagram is representing the discharge type, and this is undischarged. What do you mean by exactly discharge and undischarge? Discharge means if the nidoblast, okay, they are basically projecting outside a thread-like structure having a bud or anything else, it is considered to be a discharge of it. Okay, and if it is not coming outside for discharge, okay, then it is undischarged. Okay, is that understood? Hello? समझ में आ गया? हेलो? This picture is actually basically helping us to understand the process of discharge and undischarge of nidoblast. Okay, so basically the question comes that which nidoblast is present in which phylum or the part of which phylum. Okay, is it understood? Hello? Yeah. Okay. So for example, this is the tentacle. Any insect or pathogen comes in contact here. The moment it comes in contact with here, what we can say, a spinous-like process. Okay, so nidocell, which is known as what, nidocell. The moment it comes in contact with this, the nidocell comes outwards. It comes outwards, triggered, and it gets injected, or it gets surrounded by the surface of prey. It will secrete some kind of hypnotoxin, some kind of paralyzing toxin, or it can just create a sensation of high irritation because of their hair-like stinging cells. It depends what they are having actually. Okay, so these are discharging of nidoblast and discharging. This is discharging, this is no uncharging, undischarged and discharge, right? Then we have classification, right? Just a minute, we'll start the classification.